you doing some things that nobody has ever done, bro. And it's like, it give me chills to think about it, to understand that, like, where you come from, bro, you legendary.
Pray for my demons. They thought I'd be dead by now. Whoa. Pray for my demons. I don't think they're ready now. Whoa. I know it kills them to see me win. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it kills them to see me win. So I'm gonna win again, win again.
Fight fans, welcome back.
The accumulation, the concern of just taking the beating.
Two high-profile southpaws share one elusive goal.
It's not really about the money. It's not about the bravado or the belts. It's about proving who's the best in the ring.
But now, following an unexpected DMV plot twist, the brute force antagonist and the subtle lockpicker are so close, yet so far.
Davis with the propensity to nail you with sudden impact and pinpoint accuracy from Shakur Stevenson with that left hand.
As fight dates finally align and paths merge closer, it's no longer a matter of if, but when.
I'm ready for it, he ready for it, we both in our primes. Whenever he say, let's fight, that's when it's gonna happen.
Here, we show you why this one isn't just special, but generational. This is Tank versus Shakur, a future showdown. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation.
I've talked to Floyd Mayweather about you. He has nothing but great things to say. Who did you have the most challenging time sparring from the pros? Because I know you already sparred pros.
I actually broke him in the camp when I fought for Petralgen. Okay. What do you think about him as a fighter? He's a sound fighter.
It doesn't seem too long ago that this pair of self-described rock stars were sharing a gym, pounding the bags and pads side by side. However, as their paths converge, past friendships die hard.
And it's like you have your story, he has his story about what happened. What really happened that day?
Old sparring truths remain in the shadows, footage unrecorded, or perhaps buried deep, ready to be unearthed to spark the fighting fires of hype.
I sparred him back when he was younger. Right. So when I sparred him for this camp, I sparred him first time. I was like, this motherfucker bad. I had to up my game on him.
Because I'm a man now. I'm not like no little kid no more.
3 years younger, Shakur has since matured, yet tales of running around the ring and cracked teeth emerge.
You have to leave. Hey, you have to leave, Shakur.
On my daughter, that ain't my tooth. Tank a beast. Tank one of the best people I ever been in the ring with. He's talented, and I learned a lot from that work.
As the gym dust settled, Shakur shot for Olympic gold, while Gervonta fell short of his chance to ascend the amateur podium, opting for the lure of the money team's millions.
He bought me a car, he got me in the house.
What did they say back home when everybody saw the story that Floyd Mayweather bought you a very expensive car?
Before I even signed to him, he was like doing a lot for me.
With different dreams come different boxing educations. However, both would showcase in the shadow of Floyd.
Just outside looking in, I guess everybody's surprised that you ain't signed with Floyd because it just felt like niggas is like, oh, he the next Floyd. Floyd, you know, he's courting you.
If anybody can break my records, this young kid right here can do it. And I truly believe in him.
I ain't gonna say he wanted me to go through blind, but he wanted me to like do it his way.
Hey, you heard Floyd, he was yelling, he was like, we signing that boy, we signing that boy.
And I ain't want to do it his way, so it ended up being like, I did it my way, and I went with the team I felt was like a better team for me, and I feel like right now it's paid off.
Introducing the boxer in the red corner, representing United States of America.
And he is the real deal. Well, he seems to be, but I remember 20 odd years ago when they were saying it was all a bit too much too soon for Mr. Mayweather. With a flash of his brilliance there, the man in the blue vest. Shakur Stevenson, Ramirez thinks he's done enough.
Shakur's Olympic dream was crushed, just like Mayweather 20 years prior.
but I'm glad that the fight went like it went. Wow. If it did, it made me work that much harder as a professional not to feel that same pain again.
Now I realize, like, okay, everything happened the way that it was supposed to happen. Because now that I'm professional, I don't want to lose.
Tremendous amount of expectation and hype. You know the business of boxing, Tim. It can be difficult. You have to try to find a place that will give you a home and ensure your success. We're underway. Round one.
With the best.
They ain't never get it like this. They ain't never win it like this. I see red, but you know I'm always on go.
Hitting the ground running, by the time Stevenson joined the Baltimore Banger in the pro game, Tank was already 4 years deep.
I take one look in their eyes and I'm making them nervous. Walk like a lion and talk like a priest at a sermon.
16 unbeaten, a fresh world title around the waist, armed with an appetite for destruction.
I got the crown on my head and it's cause I deserve it. That's king talk, that's king talk. What you know about that king talk? Yeah. Walk it like a king do, talk it like a king do. I got the crown on my head and it's cause I deserve it.
The bigger the profile, the more intense the scrutiny. And while Tank has grown accustomed to stinging fan criticism, the narrative in 2025 is a little different.
I got the crown on my head and it's cause I deserve it.
Like, Gervonta's a very good fighter. I criticize the matchup because not because I don't like Gervonta Davis, because I feel like he's so good that I want to see him against somebody like him.
Gervonta has always passed the eye test.
You looking like milk, don't know if you got it.
The talent, the temperament, and titanium fists are undeniable.
Cause I woke up and bought 2 companies, man, that's hard.
I think that Tank Davis is a unique fighter because of his precision, the style in which he fights, and the level of power that he's able to apply, particularly with the left hand.
But with a resume holding him back from pound-for-pound greatness, the razor-sharp eye candy is in danger of becoming an optical illusion.
I'm here, baby. I'm here. What they want to do, I'm here, baby. Ain't no safety on this Glock.
It's a catch-22. Those capable of challenging him are not yet at the necessary level through experience or commercial value.
Hey, Gervonta, knock, knock.
And others, despite media pairings, will probably never be ready.
Tank loses rounds. Tank decides to do what he wants to in certain fights.
After all, putting up a fight is one thing, hanging on to win is another.
Gervonta Tank Davis, after giving away the majority of the first 6 rounds, turns it on in the second half of the fight.
It was a recurring trend for Tank. The opposing game plan was as much about surviving as it was about scoring points.
You know, guys get into patterns and you find that and you break it down and you seem like you're the smarter fighter a lot of times at the end of the day.
Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay?
And I was like, nah, not yet, not yet. I gotta use him up a little more.
I got the crown on my head and it's cause I deserve it.
Have you ever seen anything like it?
Never. It's like a replay for every other single fight he's had.
Gervonta's safety-first approach has allowed plenty of recent foes to steal rounds and enjoy fleeting moments of success.
But he's just figuring out his opponents, figuring out every movement.
A couple rounds fills you out, lets you punch out a little bit.
Loses the first couple of rounds.
More than even the first couple sometimes.
He does that knowing that he's going to knock them out. You know, one punch away from knocking them out, and he's done it.
But Lamont Roach, with a little help along the way, managed to draft up the perfect blueprint. To some of you, it might have been a long time coming, but if only those opponents then knew what we know now.
Then, you know, he'll get you out of nowhere.
He closes the gap and he finishes you.
You can't fight the power!
I'm not worrying about nobody else because I know skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody.
The minuscule Mexican mauler Isaac Cruz did provide the first survival plan using aggression and inside work.
Tank did exactly what I asked him to do. Turn him, box him, turn him, make him miss, make him pay.
The crowd at Staples Center enjoying what they've seen.
But these are all very different styles to that of boxing's smoothest mover. So where fighting fire with fire has brought varying levels of success, Shakur Stevenson will be writing a very different script.
Davis is going to wind up needing the knockout as it goes later because he's falling behind against guys who are not even a quarter of what Shakur Stevenson's boxing ability is. Either way, I like the talk, but I want to see the fight. Let's get the fight made.
You know, the way that Gonzalez is getting hit and the fact that he can't do anything. He can't touch Shakur Stevenson.
Whenever he fights, it's a masterpiece. Except for when he jumps around the ring, but when he fights, it's a masterpiece. He's one of the greatest technical fighters, especially of this generation.
He's one of the baddest fighters out there, man. Honestly, his talent is different.
Reporting live from the side where the king's roam. It's never lonely at the top when the team's home. The mindset is multiply, never divide. Only the strongest survive. So now we got a theme song.
Silky skills bordering on unorthodox, this Newark native slips, weaves, and regularly steps back with enough athletic ability to get away with it.
It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing, a masterclass boxing performance. Here's the guy right now that may be the most purely talented and dangerous at 135 pounds, no matter where the belts land.
Big stage, bright lights, worldwide.
Adopting the later versions of Floyd, Shakur's battle-tested beauty gets belittled by boxing's blowhards, eager to critique and condemn.
And he's being roundly booed and jeered, which is a shame.
Because, you know, people don't like your last couple performances. That's boxing. If you know boxing, they know what you were doing. But people want action.
Shakur will learn from this tonight. He'll learn from this. He'll get some heat. It comes with the territory.
Preferring sweet scientific chemistry to gaudy ward firefights, he hides, glides, and punishes.
He's making him pay. Every time you make him miss, he's making him pay.
You don't think he could have stopped him?
No. At this level, you can't knock everybody out.
Diffusing Dos Santos.
Combination from Shakur.
Snake charming Hartunian.
Stevenson combination, tight punches on the inside.
Shoe shining Yoshino.
Straight left hand.
Oh, there's a knockdown!
And making Canseco and Valdez look more oafish than Olympian.
Speed's there, his power's there. He was just a better fighter today. Like I said, you know, overall, great fighter.
Last time out, illness ruined what looked like the perfect setup fight. A Floyd-Schofield showdown which would answer some important questions.
Right now, we know that Floyd Schofield Jr. is out, and we know that Josh Padley is in. What a crazy story and journey.
With Josh Padley stepping in as late replacement. And with all credit to him, this one became more about staying busy and putting on a show.
So you'd slow the fight down with his lead hand and then speed it up with his backhand.
Intimidated. That was good stuff, though. Lovely there.
Calculating every inch of the ring, sharp as a knife. Stevenson always analyzes and adjusts accordingly.
I could see him wincing, saying his hands were hurting, and I could shout his coach and saying, go to the body, which obviously were my demise after that.
And those social media exploits and grand proclamations merely highlight a man that refuses to bend the knee and continues to do things his own way.
I done went through adversity. I done went through people talking bad about me.
You like that, right? You like that they feel that way, because that's not you, right?
I don't care. So everybody had them off nights, but them off nights I made sure I was victorious. Still to the day, I'm still going through it, so I think it only gets better from here.
He has an unfortunate thing of being compared to Tank.
Tank's gonna get every last one of these guys y'all want him to get. You just can't get them all in one night.
Tank is putting through the ropes, bro.
You gotta, when you fight Tank, you gotta stay alert for 12 rounds.
We gotta see those two get it on this year.
Only person that really gonna stay alert and be on top of their game for 12 rounds straight is somebody like me, and I feel like that'll be the best and biggest fight in boxing.
That's all I'm leaving it at that. That's the fight that should be made. Tank, Shakur, not Tank Lomachenko, not Tank Haney.
You think y'all could ever go back to what it used to be when y'all was actually cool, you know, after all this stuff that just happened recently?
Nah, I don't want shit to go back to this shit.
Yeah, you feel like might as well pause?
Yeah, let's fight. At the end of the day, let's fight.
Facing the best opponents the world has to offer, it does something to you. It puts ice in your veins, baby.
All right, Gervonta Tank Davis, his co-trainer, Kenny Ellis, stated that
There is no way to look at Davis versus Shakur Stevenson as a 50-50 fight. That's because, simply put, Tank can punch and Shakur can't.
Left hand from Shakur Stevenson.
Or this can start to turn real ugly, real quick.
But it's low output, high accuracy, maximum damage.
For one, I really think the fans don't really see nobody beating Shakur. When I see and I go read like little stuff about it, they really be debating. It don't be like, oh, Tank is gonna destroy this guy and all everybody is saying it. No, that shit be like real debates. Like,
I'm a superstar in this sport. You line them up, name them. I'm ready for whoever.
Tank's fleet-footedness shuts out any of those bull versus matador comparisons.
Tank is hard to beat because he can box also. People forget he's more than just a big puncher. He can box. But I think Tank and Shakur will be Shakur.
And where Shakur has been accused of running,
that's how I say. I feel like he was running. He really ain't running. He just don't understand that distance. So when he was jumping back, he jumped too far back out of range, to where he couldn't come back and get something right away.
You want to let your hands go. You was picking the pace up with your movement, but your hands wasn't. You know what I mean?
It was a certain time I started throwing, boom, 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 boom.
That's the only thing he had a problem. Once he learns that or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
His inside game is outstanding. He's unafraid to stand his ground and get dirty, just like his mentor, Andre Ward.
Chad Dawson said, I don't think Ward's a dirty fighter, but I do think he holds. Keeps very focused. A quick left hook inside by Andre Ward. Dawson's knee goes to the canvas, and Smoker will count.
And where Tank tries to punch through you, Stevenson will make you hit fresh air, as the big hitter and smooth mover take to the chessboard.
Punch combination to the head. Shakur is in rhythm here in Atlanta.
However, the big punch bait can't be bitten if the opponent allows no openings.
You gotta ask him the question of how is he gonna hit me? How is he gonna land these punches on me that I done seen him throw a million times?
The worst part about being a boxing superstar, I think if you beat one person, they say you can't beat this person. It's never enough.
With a mass hiatus to 140, two lightweight luminaries with perfectly blended southpaw styles remain. Davis, 3 years older, but both comfortably in their primes. However, it's Tank's 93% KO ratio that remains the glaring differentiator.
It only takes Tank one punch.
Right.
And if Tank catches him, no matter how great he is, he'll probably go out too.
Stevenson has gone 12 rounds 6 times. Tank now twice.
Championship reign in jeopardy. It comes down.
Both men are proprietors of the jab, and despite his smaller stature, Davis's longer arms whip up and around the target. Maturing into a bona fide pay-per-view star, Gervonta is brimming with experience. But Stevenson's 8 years as a pro have included world titles across 3 weight classes.
This exactly why this is considered a 50-50 fight, if you're looking at it that way, is because of all these points. You got guys that have very different styles, but they both have mastered the style that they prefer.
It's Tank being one of the most explosive offensive fighters against Shakur being one of the greatest defensive fighters of this generation.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's trying to do here now.
In high-pressure environments like these, small moves matter. And past performances reveal Shakur will likely grab a lead, leaving Tank in his usual spot of dramatic switch flicks. Every passing minute raises the temperature, and it's a different kind of heat against Baltimore's best.
Shakur Stevenson is also going to be facing the best fighter that he's ever faced.
Letting someone like Shakur get ahead of steam with rounds in the bank is a dangerous ploy, and Tank will need to land some early momentum killers.
Of course, it's all about low output, high accuracy, and just a savant when it comes to processing information.
He gave the fans and the media and everybody who had something to say and something to write what they wanted.
The Lamont Roach rematch could dismantle this entire prospective mega fight.
Rematch happens, what's different? And the new.
As boxing's new best versus the best climate presents another 50-50 affair.
Usually
Stop all that soul, fam.
Hey.
Let's go. It's over with.
Listen.
And as Crawford followed Floyd, the lineage to greatness must be obeyed.
Following the footsteps of this boy. He a bad motherfucker. I'm following him.
But if wrongs are made right and shortcomings are resolved, the green light will once again shine upon the biggest fight in boxing.
You think that's gonna be your hardest fight?
Hell no.
Gervonta
So with ego aside and legacy in question, the reality is painfully simple.
For the bout the boxing world has been waiting for.
Shakur needs Tank, and Tank needs Shakur.